Hey Aries, welcome to my channel. I wanted to do a check-in for you for 2026 and to close off 2025, the year of the snake, a 9 year. If you watched the latest Sagittarius season reading I did, it spoke about how this year was a lot about shedding, releasing limiting beliefs, releasing karmic ties and karmic patterns, karmic relationships, anything or any energies that are unserving for our path or our highest good was coming up for release this year, whether we chose that or not. And what I mean by that is whether we consciously chose it, because some of us, might have consciously chosen to do the work and might have been inspired to do the work because of the energies of 2025, and so went into meditation or went into retreat or deliberately practiced some kind of inner work modality in order to unpack our blocks and our limiting beliefs. If this was not a conscious choice, it was something that came up in the form of relationships, in the form of career choices, in the form of situations in your life that tested your sense of self. And the words I kept getting, or the phrase I kept getting in your meditation or connecting with your energy, Aries, was imposter syndrome. And I mean, we all deal with it at some point or the other. But I feel for you, Aries, because of your sense of perfectionism and because of the work that you've been doing this year. And we'll get into that, but I'm sensing that there was a lot of ignition of ideas this year for you, Aries. There was a lot of creative flow, and maybe always not the means to manifest that in the physical world, which has been frustrating for you. There seemed to be a block when it came to certain manifestations of your ideas. But where this block was actually coming from, and it's not a block as much as it is needing us to do the self-healing work in order to clear space for the newness to come forth. And a lot of that healing work for Aries was about self-confidence, self-worth, the inner child, and working with emotional patterns, emotional triggers that have come about in 2025 that have brought back traumas to be healed. And I say trauma, big trauma or little trauma, but what I mean by that is something that is stored in your cellular memory, in your memory vault, in your memory bank, that wasn't necessarily intended to be stored, but at the time of whatever was occurring, you might have been overwhelmed by that emotion or by the triggering, the sense of fear or insecurity you felt at the time. And so that was then stored as a memory to be dealt with at a later stage. And this is something, psychologically, physically, mentally, we can tend to do in order to protect ourselves, in order to protect the energetic body, because there are some situations that can be so traumatic, that it is unhealthy in the moment to process all of that emotion at once. And so it is a beautiful mechanism, actually, that, then goes where these experiences or our energy partially goes into a vault of sorts and is released little by little when we are ready and when we have the capacity to deal with that emotion fully. So I feel like the vault doors were opened for you, Aries, in 2025. And as an Aries rising, I can totally relate to that. I just got the image, and they're showing me the image, if you ever watched the Harry Potter movie series, of the goblins behind the vault, and it's almost like, you know, the vault that doesn't usually give access to many people, even to yourself. I can't remember the name of that vault now, but it was a vault where, you know, all Harry's gold from his parents was stored, and only a few of the goblins knew about it, and there was a special key to access it. And I think why they are showing me the scene in the movie, and if you think about how Harry and Hagrid get to that vault, it is through a series of roller coaster tracks underground, you know, very unsafe looking roller coaster tracks. And this is exactly the emotional work I feel you've been doing, Aries, is going within, not spiraling in a negative way, but spiraling within to the vaults that have been tightly closed to you for some time. What happens is, or what is happening is, in the year of the horse, which is a one energy, and that is your energy, Aries. It is a one energy. It is the energy of ignition. It's the spark. You are the creator, the beginning of the zodiac. And so you set the scene. You are the trailblazers for what needs to come next. And in order for you to step into that full potential and manifest the important and very powerful, meaningful, and necessary ideas that you are having, Aries, that vault needed to be opened, because whatever was in there, that emotional vault, that memory bank, was unconsciously affecting your ability to show up fully with all of your gifts and your talents, and to bring that forth into the world. So the year of the horse is really going to be a year where, if you've done the work, if you've done the release, where you'll start to see a lot of opportunities opening up for you. It's just going to take off the prosperity, the abundance, the sense of self-worth as well. And this is also why self-worth specifically was important for you, Aries, in 2025, is some of the ideas that you have are life-changing, are world-changing ideas, ideas that are going to affect people in big ways. In many cases, large communities is what I'm seeing. These are worldly things, worldly topics and ideas that will have a massive and profound impact on those around you and even society. So these ideas need to be brought forth. And if there is any self-doubt, if there is any lingering imposter syndrome, I mean, which there always will be, but if it becomes debilitating, there is no vessel, and the vessel being you, Aries, there is then no vessel for those ideas to come forth through, because you end up doubting it before it's even had the chance to cocoon and to incubate and to grow. So it was really important that any issues, you know, relating to self-worth were released in 2025 and are being released. So that was just the download I was getting for you, Aries. I want to see with the tarot now, and I've been talking for 8 minutes. I hope I made sense. But with this supermoon as well, the supermoon in Gemini is excellent for articulating ideas and for communication. So if you're wanting to write, if you're wanting to journal, if you're wanting to release your ideas onto paper, Aries, this energy of the supermoon is the perfect time to do that. Gemini is the sign of communication. And with Mercury, you know, having gone direct now, that is the perfect equation, chemical balance, frequency balance, energetic balance for communication and intellectual communication as well. So a very good time now to start thinking about some of the ideas that you want to birth. As I was thinking about ideas and birthing, ideas that you want to birth in 2026, now is a really good time for you to write that down, or at least conceptualize it in your own mind, Aries. So main messages for 2026 for the sign of Aries. Spirit, please and thank you. Only messages of love and light. Negative energy must leave the space now. Okay, for the sign of Aries, what is coming through? What advice, what messages do they need to know going into 2026 and closing off 2025? Only jumpers, please. The Lovers, which is a card of Gemini. So some of you might be finding a partnership. 10 of Cups, which is emotional fulfillment. Strength, which is the card of Leo, which is about self-worth and self-confidence. Major Arcana. No more feeling trapped, Aries, and no more self-entrapment. You are overcoming this. You are developing the strength to overcome the sense of trapping yourself in your own mind. And the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. These are beautiful energies coming through for you, Aries. Card of Sagittarius, your fellow fire sign. The Wheel of Fortune is about fortune. It's about the wheel turning in your favor. And with the cards that it has come out with, I mean, this energy is incredible. At the bottom of the deck, the Moon cycle and the Eight of Pentacles, which is about investing in your ideas, investing in your work, maybe studying towards something, but putting in the effort and putting in the hours it takes that it's going to take for your ideas to manifest. And you are not scared or shy of hard work, Aries. If anything, what was also coming to me in the meditation is that you are going through a period of burnout right now. And it's because of the intense energy that you put into everything that you do. And it might not be burnout to the point where you cannot function, but it is, calling for a period of rest right now. I think powering down is what I just heard is going to be important, Aries, especially as we close out the year. You need to, let me not say you need to, it sounds like an instruction. I mean, you have free will. But what Spirit is advising is that you build in deliberate rest time, guilt-free rest time, even if it just means lying down with a lit candle or eating, nourishing meals, broth, meals that nourish your body, sipping on herbal tea, warm water with lemon, something to alkalize the body is what I just heard, because Aries, you can be prone to acid in the body as well because of that fire energy. And because of the, sometimes the masculine energy can take over, being ruled by Mars. So it's important for you to rest, Aries, because you have been working extremely hard, and 2026 is also going to be a year of not hard work, and that's the wrong word, of joyful work. But it is going to be a productive year for you, is what I'm sensing. Everything that you are going to be putting in, you are going to see the results of your efforts, Aries. And it's interesting that she's sitting there with a candle. She's not actually grafting, even though this card represents mastery. It actually represents mastery of your art. But what's also interesting is that there are a few items out there. It's not like she's mastering one specific art form. And Stephen Bartlett, the host of Diary of a CEO, posted something on LinkedIn that I found so interesting. And I think it's important, and this is what this card is showing. You know, there are stacks of books, there is an aloe plant, there are candles, there are bowls of a variety of different things. Um, there's an alchemy going on here. There are many different things and many different ideas. And what Stephen Bartlett, and you can also see the different rays that are connecting with her. So there are many facets of yourself, Aries, that you are discovering that are going to come forth into fruition for you in 2026. Many different aspects of your talents, many different gifts, many different ways of putting yourself out there and giving back to community, to self, to your close circle, to the world. And the world needs to see these gifts. Now, let me get back to what Stephen Bartlett was saying. Um, in this landscape of AI and technology right now, we need less specialists and more complete humans, is what he was talking about. You know, the days of being a specialist have almost become redundant. You know, if you're an IT specialist, as an example, and that is the only skill that you have, you're in a bit of a pickle with AI. There's a lot that AI can do in terms of rational, logical, intellectual thought, calculation, algorithm that, you know, detracts, or not detracts, but replaces a lot of what a human specialist can do, and does it 10 times faster. So besides not specializing, it's important to go back to our natural roots of being able to do many different things in order to survive, being able to build houses, being able um, to know which plants in your garden are good for healing, or, you know, developing knowledge like that, or a painting, or, you know, taking up a musical instrument, or, you know, different skills that will bring different things to your village. That is the complete human, you know, adapting and using your skills in order to not just survive but thrive in your environment. AI is not able to replace intuition. It's not able to replace proprioception, the right brain skills that are traditionally ignored in education systems. You know, intuitive development, sensory awareness, energetic awareness. These are all things that are going to become very important. So don't worry about being schizophrenic or appearing to be schizophrenic. Again, you know, it's not about what other people's definition of your self-worth is, or other people's opinion of your offering. You will find your tribe if you are in alignment. So Aries, I am seeing, if you are single, there is definitely a partnership coming through for you here, a divine partnership, a soul partnership. This could also be a divine partnership in relation to business, in relation to profession, to career, or in sharing your gifts. But it's someone that is going to be on the same spiritual frequency as you, the same frequency as you, Aries, so that you will immediately know that this person, there's something that is unspoken, there's something that is magnetic, there's something that is different about this connection that could be coming in for you, Aries. 6 is also about balance. And if you haven't been able to find balance in relationship, this is the kind of relationship that is going to bring in balance and reciprocity for you. It is definitely, you know, a card for partnerships, but it doesn't have to be. I'm also hearing this could be important friendships, but important connections that are coming through for you in 2026, Aries. If you've been feeling a little bit isolated in 2025, it's because of the shedding process. It's because of the removal of the influence of anyone that was going to impact on you processing that. And so many relationships might have been put on pause or even lost in 2025 in order for you to go through this metamorphosis. But it's coming back in, I'm feeling, for you in 2026, Aries. And it could be with a Sagittarius, because, you know, with the bow and arrow there, that is the symbol of Sagittarius. You could also be meeting this person while you are traveling or exploring or learning a new skill. But it's a relationship that is going to help add to your own sense, your inner sense of emotional fulfillment. Because there is no relationship, there is no one outside of ourselves, no situation, no person, no relationship that can provide emotional peace or fulfillment. That has to come from within. If it doesn't come from within, then we'll always be searching for it outside of ourselves. And that is where, you know, the depression, the anxiety, and the sense of feeling lonely and empty comes from, is when we are not able to feel this feeling in our own energy. And then whoever comes into our lives is actually, you know, a bonus. It's a value add on top of that, which is amazing. So it's not anyone coming in to complete your sense of emotional fulfillment. This is something, your inner peace, your emotional peace, is something you've been working on, and you've been understanding for yourself what that is and how to bring it about for yourself. That is completely independent of another person, of another situation. So that even if that person or situation is removed, there's no, obviously there's always a sense of loss, but it doesn't destroy you emotionally, Aries. And Aries, you can love hard, you know, as a very passionate fire sign. The feels can get caught really quickly, you know, and it catches, you know, a light very quickly, and it can burn out very quickly as well. So it's also about pacing that fire within you, Aries, and learning also how to step back and how to receive, because the Ten of Cups energy is very much a feminine energy, an energy of receiving, whereas your energy defaults usually to a masculine energy. You go after what you want. You definitely go after what you want. And that can sometimes lead to burnout. And it's sometimes difficult to take a step back and to allow the energy of receiving. But that is something that's coming in for you in 2026. Solar plexus energy, the sense of self-confidence and self-worth. No more of this imposter syndrome. Well, it's not, you know, set to zero. Obviously, we will have moments of this, but it's not going to be debilitating to the point where you aren't able to function, Aries, is the beautiful thing about this. And with these major arcana, it trumps this minor arcana of the Eight of Swords, which is a self-entrapment energy. It's being trapped in your thoughts, in your limiting beliefs, being blindfolded to your intuition, being blindfolded to messages from spirit. You are overcoming that. Another fire sign, sign of Leo. There's a sense of safety that you have developed for yourself, Aries, that doesn't come from outside of yourself. And again, it is about a strong sense of self-worth and self-confidence. That is where this comes from. It's a sense of peace as well with the lamb. You know, a lamb is not going to sit still if it doesn't feel unsafe. And it's sitting next to this lion energy. So it's also about taming the beast within, Aries. All of us have a beast within. And that can sometimes be unleashed. And with Aries tongue and with Aries directness and with Aries energy, it can be damaging, permanently damaging in some cases as well. And it's learning how to tame that energy. It's learning how to balance it. You know, you don't have to cut people off completely. You don't have to, you don't have to go to an extreme to make a point. There is a balance. You can coexist with situations, with relationships that maybe not don't fit into your frequency anymore, but you're not deliberately going out to annihilate them. That's the energy. It's taming the beast within, and understanding, that you are a beast as well, and acknowledging those aspects of yourself, acknowledging the anger, acknowledging the rage, acknowledging the fear, acknowledging the parts of ourselves that we tend to suppress because of shame or guilt. It's the strength to look at those things, look them in the eye, and be able to say, this is part of me, this is part of my integrated self, but I'm not judging it anymore. I'm not going to hate on it I'm not going to hate on myself anymore. It doesn't create a sense of self-loathing and recoil when you look at, those beast aspects of yourself. In fact, between the beast and the man, or the beast and the woman, there's an energy exchange happening. There's an infinity sign on her arm. And that's the first time that this message has come to me, is that there's a balance and an energy exchange between your primal self and your higher self that is coming in for you, Aries. And it's because of this pure sense of self-confidence. Yellow energy. I do also see that you will be drawn to the color yellow and may want to be wearing more yellow in this new season. And then, as we started, the Wheel of Fortune, card of Sagittarius. This is about travel. This is about new opportunity. This is about new beginnings. This is about fortune favoring the brave. And there it is. Fortune favors the brave. This is about your fortune coming in as well, your sense of wealth, your definition of wealth. And that's not just in financial terms, but abundance in relationship, abundance in peace, abundance in joy, abundance in the things that make your life what it is, the richness that it is, Aries. That was absolutely beautiful. And yes, we did cover the bottom of the deck. And behind the Eight of Pentacles was the High Priestess, or is the High Priestess, which is also your energy, Aries, because you are so close to Pisces. You are highly intuitive. You tap into, and you can tap into the energy of Pisces, the High Priestess energy. In fact, many of you might even have strong Pisces placements. So definitely intuition coming in for a lot of you as well. This could be one of the gifts that is coming in for you, this intuitive development. But again, reiterating what I was saying about the complete human and the importance of the right brain skills, of sensory awareness, of, these skills that we've never tapped into are going to need to be tapped into if we are to co-create and coexist with AI. Beautiful reading for you, Aries. If you'd like a personal reading, if you have any questions, I will leave my details in the description box. But please leave me a comment if this resonated for you. Like, share, subscribe, get the message out there. It really does help spread the message and the word. And I feel really honored to be your messenger today. I hope this resonated for you, and sending you so much love. Please stay safe. during this silly season, as they call it, the festive season. Stay blessed, and sending you much love. Until next time.